to our club, um, My Life, My Business, and our event topic, or as always, is Wish I Was Here. That's the umbrella topic. And today, we still continue our conversation around leadership. I mean, what a fascinating conversation last week around leaders as an idiot, or, our leaders, idiots, and even coming up with a bit of a description of the acronym. And so today, to build on the theme is really to talk about the type of leadership that actually does lead us through all kinds of challenges. So, tongue in cheek, we're talking about wars, rumors of wars, and then also pandemics. And so to take this topic forward, I just was wondering, I mean, how would we describe this kind of, if this leader is not an idiot, what is the leader characteristics that we think would be best able to lead us through turmoil? When we're talking about wars and rumors of wars, basically talking a little bit about Russia and Ukraine and what's happening there, because there's such a global impact on all of us, on all our lives, directly or indirectly. So I'm just going to launch, and I'm going to put it out there. And if you can please just follow. It's not going to be too long, but I just want to give you my idea. And remember, that's how Alistaire and I position all of this. It's basically our thoughts. It's not what we believe are the only thoughts, and the only right thoughts. It's our thoughts, and really up for debate. So, as you know, I have a general theme running through everything that I talk about. So literally for me, leveraging the theme that we are all leaders either by choice or by default, I want to attack first and foremost, before we talk about the behavior, is what core thoughts are leaders, the effective leaders, which ones do they have? What core thoughts run through their minds? What are their mantras, if you like? And so I'm going to give you a range of things and end off with a few characteristics that I could muster. So basically, these are some of the core thoughts that we believe are typical of the most effective leaders in all walks of life. And here goes. I want to understand you. Life offers opportunity after opportunity. You only have to open your eyes to see them. Each person has a unique gift and the ability to use that gift to be successful. So just a reminder, this is the core thoughts running through an effective leader's mind. And also, everything in my life has meaning and purpose, and I want to know what it all means. Success comes from within and is always up to me to feel successful. Someone somewhere created me, and for a reason, our purpose is to find peace and joy. Our objective in life is to live it to the fullest and make a difference to as many people as possible. Your value or your gift is the way you do that. And more thoughts. I only win if you win. I'm always in control of my life and my perspective of it. Everything always works out for the best. Even if you don't see it that way at the time, everything always works out for the best. I continually get better and better. And here's one that's probably very challenging. But this is a core thought of an effective leader, is the world is a fascinating and wondrous place. Can I say that again?
Yes.
The world is a fascinating and wondrous place. And I can only imagine what is being triggered in you right now as I say that. But it's basically, these are the thoughts that you entertain as a leader that is effective. And you can see from those thoughts, it's the common thread there is about us benefiting by our engagement uh, you know, in a common pursuit, if you like. So, what are the typical characteristics of leaders with these thoughts? They are powerful, they are inspiring, and they are skilled at capitalizing on whatever opportunities present themselves. They command greatness from others. They expect greatness from others and they receive it. They see people as gifted and full of potential. So they expect positive attitudes. They expect autonomy as well as teamwork and then high performance. They demonstrate by what they believe in by telling those people around them, whether it's staff members, employees, followers in general, exactly what is expected of them. And this creates this self fulfilling prophecy in which all the followers are motivated by knowing that someone believes in them and will hold them accountable to greatness. They constantly look for opportunities in partnerships and alliances. They're always thinking about synergy and ways to succeed through their many connections. And then they operate with less fear than do people generally. And so they have the willingness to enact radical change when warranted. And there endeth my brief introduction of what I believe are leaders for our present circumstances. And it's really in the way they think. And these are some of the thoughts that I shared. So, Alistair, I don't know if anything triggered for you.
Yeah, I heard a lot of things, Jacques, and I love the interesting the angle with which you came from. Um, you started off with some core thoughts, and then linked the leader and his role as you if you think about those thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
What it reminds me of is, and for those people who know me, and I introduce myself, um, always this. My name is Al, and I believe leadership makes a massive difference. What it sounds to me like, what you're saying is that a good leader believes something, and it's almost like he starts with the result and then works himself back in terms of how am I going to achieve that. So even if the core belief is I believe leadership makes a difference, and so that's the end result. So the end result is the difference in whatever way we describe it, but then works himself back and says, so now how do I confirm and walk towards that belief? Because if we don't believe that people can change, if we don't believe that the world is a wonderful place, um, we will not pursue it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just to say, if as a leader you believe the world is a terrible place, and any business and any team you lead is just a waste of time, imagine how you're going to enter your day with that belief. So even if you look like you're leading, there's this constant smell or this constant flavor that he doesn't believe that he's actually making a difference. He doesn't even believe that we can make a difference as his team or his followers. Yeah. So that's all I want to add. Just that it sounds to me that that leader you described
Mm-hmm.
believes something.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's really there. You talk about that belief, and this belief that we're talking about is constructive. Absolutely, and you're linking it to how I ended up that core thought, that believing that the world is a wonderful place, filled with opportunity. And this kind of leader reconciles, whether situations are, if we want to call them, if the situation is either bad or good, it doesn't really matter. All these things belong, and in all these things, if you look hard enough, lies the silver lining for opportunity for everyone to benefit as long as you look for it. So
Yeah.
this leader, because he believes that, then points others to look. It's kind of help. Uh, he or she would say, "Let me help you see. Remove those scales of your eyes. All you see right now may be blackness, but do you see that silver lining? Do you see that light at the end of that tunnel? Can you see that around that corner lies opportunity? Don't give up. Don't give in. Keep going." And this experience and this journey is value adding, but together we will achieve that which we've set out. And funnily enough, this kind of leader is also one that would, we aim at a goal, and if you don't particularly achieve that goal in the time that you've said, there is still something that was gained in the process. Whether it's a stronger relationship, or whether it's knowledge that you didn't have before. Because remember, this leader, in terms of the characteristics, the behavior that now manifests, is willing to risk, not waiting for the ideal situation. Many times we procrastinate because we're waiting for the ideal circumstances. This kind of leader encourages you to take the step sometimes. And I know this will sound controversial, but to take this step because success lies around the corner, not for separate individuals. And I want to stress this: it is for the benefit of all. So it's very much this kind of leader will find out, will do the research in terms of his people that he's leading or she is leading. What will be of benefit to you, and not assume what will be of benefit to them, but know that all activities will assure those benefits, not in the right circumstances, not in the ideal circumstances, in the circumstances where everybody looks without scales on their eyes, seeking that silver lining. So, scripturally, seek and you shall find. And if you seek and you look for that silver lining, you shall so find it. And this leader will inspire you to do so.
Wow, Jacques, it's. I was going to say it's almost motivational, but it is motivation. Um, that your motivation is so inspiring and almost not almost, it's comprehensive in a way. Like, wow, let's not even talk about this. Let's just um, think about it and internalize it. And that's how powerful it is. Very inspirational, I must say first. Would love to hear what the others are thinking. So I think, Jacques, if you would ask a question of the others, what would be that question leading out of your.
Well, what I said was not really comprehensive. I would like to know from the different point of view, is what are the core thoughts that I've kind of left out that leads to the behavior that inspires and motivates people through, and here there's our context, through wars, rumors of wars, and pandemics.
Is that the
What would you
context?
believe? Yes.
In
So
other words, in
basically,
difficult times.
yes,
There we go.
yes, absolutely. So who wants to give it a shot?
So I know Lisha said in the chat she's going to just listen today,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine. But let's call on the others. Renee, Shanaz, Rayan had an inspiring 1.5 hours or hour with Rayan on Friday. Mm. Well done, Rayan. Some good news. Some massive, great stuff happening in this space. But yeah, guys, so obviously you just wave at the bottom, press that hand, and either Jacques or myself will let you in to make a comment.
Does this mean like deathly signs? Shanaz
No. Shanaz says,
Shanaz
I
says,
loved what you said, but I struggle with people who just will not be inspired. Oh, there you go, Jacques. What would you do in that case?
whew, Shanaz, that is quite interesting. Um, you know, and Shanaz, actually, that question is so relevant in your field of expertise, because people who will not be inspired are typically the people who are not seeing the world as a wondrous place, who actually have lost faith in the world, lost faith in leaders, and to some degree, lost faith in themselves. And if there's an unwillingness to be inspired, I would say, and I would hope that all we are dealing with in that case as a leader is somebody who has been disappointed over and over again. And so they don't believe that any effort is going to take them to a new place. They just believe any effort is not going to change their circumstances at all. And somehow, I'd like to even as a complete layman just say, well, there's maybe aspects of such situational depression around that the filter through which they look at life is that, well, nothing's going to change, so why try anyway? And so, how do you shift these people? That's a very good question. And there are a couple of things, but to give my response in that way to you is before Al and I even begin to address how then we inspire. I actually want to hear what the rest of you have to say. Either we build on your statement, because it's rather a statement, rather it's not a question, um, and we come back to that. Rayan, if you got a point of view, I've invited you as speaker. Unmute yourself. Either build on what Shanaz is saying, or maybe you have a new topic. Shanaz will come back to what you've said. Can Rayan unmute himself? Is it possible?
It looks like he is unmuted, but maybe struggling to come through.
Yeah, he's asking if we can hear him. Al, I can't.
I can't. It's just one of those things where it's against difficult to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think Shanaz, you certainly a
Was
Can
that
you hear me
Syrian.
was that
now? Hi,
Rayan?
everyone.
There we go.
Yes.
I think I had
Yes,
to
you're off, Rayan.
rejoin. So I was in between work. I had a critical meeting. So can you maybe just rephrase the question, Jacques? Sorry.
Oh, what I was saying was that the context in which we're talking is what are the core thoughts that lead to. So I basically gave an overview of core thoughts that lead to the behaviors of an effective leader that inspires and motivates people through rumors of wars and pandemics, or L, as you said, through moments of disaster, but that people keep the momentum, one foot and then in front of the other, but moving towards a particular outcome. So what I wanted to know is from your perspective, Ryan, what do you think the core thoughts of a great leader, an effective leader, is that is able to inspire and motivate people to do exactly so, even though circumstances are far less than ideal?
Okay, my perspective, I can only talk about personal experiences where, in my own capacity, so going through tough times and pandemics, you need to be able to be a leader and to be able to inspire others. You need to be able to, I would say, perseverance, like being consistent in the thing that you are doing in your passion and believing, no matter how odds are against you, people, if your sales, whatever you're doing, if things are not going as planned, like never stop giving up. And I think that even your story coming out of a difficult time, that can inspire someone else. So just persevering, not giving up on anything. Because even as a leader, you also there's times where you want to give up your heart that will tell you just keep, just push a little bit further. And that I think that breaking point there, that is that well, I would say that 1%, that is what I would say will make you out on top and allow people to see that bright spark inside of you, even though you don't see it as a leader yourself. So I would say perseverance and just like pushing like ahead, no matter what. Yeah, that's that's my take. It's a broad the topic. It's some you can elaborate on and on, but it's quite broad. So
So if I can just isolate the core thought there would be push on.
yes, never give up, never quit.
That's right. Never give up, never quit. The
Like
body
I, yeah,
the body might be crying out in pain and say, but the spirit needs to keep going and pull the body ahead.
yeah. Can I make an example quickly?
Sure.
This is about my personal experience. I like going through life. I'm a very, I would say, I'm a person that doesn't give up. So I attempted to do my license. I think I was 20, 21, and I failed. Like my nerves, my mental state, I like went like 7 times and I failed, but I knew how to drive. And something just told me, don't ever give up. Just you are going to get. And the 8th time I passed, and people ask me, how was that possible? That couldn't I go buy my license? Or so I'm like, no, I believe in integrity, and I just didn't give up. And I spent all the money. I probably spent more than 5,000 rand, but I never gave up on the goal. And I believe I need to push. Nobody else is going to do it for me, so I need to do it. And I'm going to get it. And I got my license. The eighth time that I passed out, so that's what keeps me going, and that's my drive in life. Never giving up on anything, or on anyone. Believing in that person and being an inspiration for someone else.
And I think that's exactly that is that is the core thought that keeps you getting up even if you fall down, keeps you going, and being able then to share that story, that testimony, and to inspire someone else to, if they've fallen down, to dust themselves off, to get up and to keep going, because it's quite possible that when you persevere you will achieve your goal, right?
Fully agree. Fully agree.
Thanks, Ryan.
And never give up on your dreams. Sorry.
Absolutely. Oh yes. Now that's a topic there that really sparks my passion. Absolutely. Thanks, Ryan, for that. Mr. Hare, Douglas by name, can you unmute yourself? Welcome.
Jacques van Heerden and Mr. Lategan, thank you very much for allowing me in. It's wonderful being here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
we can, and it's really great to hear to have you. Maybe tell us a little bit about yourself, if that is okay.
Yes, well, Jacques and I have a very, very long relationship. He was my coach, my personal coach, and certainly led me through some difficult periods in my business and personal life. So there's a lot there. I'm the business owner of a signage company. I'm a dad of two beautiful children and I have two grandchildren. And I am a lecturer at the School of Practical Philosophy, which is really an ongoing lifetime effort to develop oneself, to develop character. And so, yes, what a journey.
Well,
Welcome, Doug.
welcome from my side. It's great to know you, Douglas. And yeah, again, your presence here and what you just shared is a testimony of your own leadership and also of Jacques leading you in different times. So, you know, we when I work with leaders, it's useless asking a leader, how are you doing? Are you really leading well? The better question to ask and the better place to ask is to actually ask the business and the team, how are you doing? Because that's the result of leadership, either good or bad. And so,
Yeah,
yeah, so that's where the actual fruit of leadership sits and the proof of it. And you've just validated Jacques' leadership in your life as a coach. So well done.
thank
Lishay,
you.
Hi, good evening.
our
Can you hear
pleasure.
me?
Yes, we can, Lishay.
All right, thank you so much. I just want to add on what you said as a leader. So, to me, I am a leader in my classroom, and I think I mentioned it in the chats as well. I can't lead the kids if I don't understand them first. So I feel that's a very important thing for a leader, that they need to know who they are leading before they can actually lead and make an impact.
Mm,
They need to understand. So they, just for example, the kids in the class, they go through many different things. They have challenges at home, all of those things, and it affects their progress in the classroom. And it's the same with any adult, with any person that you are leading. These things or factors that affects them from being inspired, from being the strongest person. So my I guess my angle that I come from is where I first look at the person as a whole and I understand where they're coming from first before
mm,
I can help them be that better person or push them to reach better or higher goals. And obviously, you can see that potential in that person, but those factors are holding them back from becoming the best person they can be. So, yeah.
exactly. And I think that to some extent is an answer to also Shana's your question. How do you inspire somebody who's not inspirable is for the lack of a proper English word. Jacques, if I can end off with a story, it's a very long story, but I'm gonna get at the gist of it. So
Mm-hmm.
yesterday I was listening to somebody, and the guy was making, and he was talking about fathers, um, and he was telling the story of a principal that called him in, a headmaster, was a school in America, said, I need you to spend time with a grade 5 boy, because and the principal said the profile, this boy's profile, in terms of his behavior and in terms of the things that he says, the principal said he definitely has the profile of one day becoming a shooter, and in America that's a big thing now. So if this boy continues the way he does, he will one day, it's so predictable that he will one day come in, and that day is coming when he will just come and shoot everybody. That's the, and he doesn't talk to anybody. Long story short, his dad is in prison, his mother abandoned him, he lives with his grandfather, he doesn't talk, sits in his room, he doesn't talk to anybody, doesn't communicate at school. Ask question, he doesn't. And this guy sat with him in the headmaster's office and sat, and no conversation. Eventually, the guy asked him, if you would use a word to describe yourself, what would it be? And the boy said, invisible. And as Lisha said, you go to the place where he's at and how he feels. And then the guy asked him, what would love say? What's the word that love would use to describe you? And the boy said, a world famous musician. And the guy tapped into that, bought him a guitar. Grandfather paid for the lessons. Year later, this guy is a good musician. He's turned around. He's one of the most inspiring youngsters at school. Even top of his class, mentor to others, just one. And the point is that we lead, and the place to start is find out where that person is, and also find out what he would, the picture of where he would like to be, and then lead him from in between those two spaces. And that to me is leadership. One aspect of it is leading people from where they are to a place that they need to be. Thank you, Jacques.
Thank you, Alistair. And all I'm going to add onto that story of yours is just to say, for me, the cherry on top would be, or the icing, if you like, is there are times when if you're addressing a group of people and you know them superficially, but if what exudes from your own belief system, just to link it back to where we started, your own core thoughts about how you see the world is at least inspire, even if they don't know how to yet, inspire somebody to desire the change, to want the change, to look at where they are and say, enough is enough. I want to shift into that place, that picture that you are painting, and then be held accountable for that change. And as Ryan said earlier on, this is such a vast topic, Al. And but anyway, we've run completely out of time. Thank you, everyone. We want to continue next week. Al, what are we talking about next week?
I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to pick from what we spoke about. Cannot come up with anything leading out of this. Let me give it a thought. But even better, from the regulars that we have, what is a topic that you think would best suit you? And I think for those who know me on my side and have my details, maybe just pop a topic and then we will try and address that. Jacques, on your side as well, for those, would that be okay? Maybe take the next 10 minutes to think of a topic that you would like us to talk about, and we will endeavor to open the space for that and talk about it. Jacques, will that kind of a cop out, but yeah.
So we're gonna have it in the next 10 minutes.
Well, let's hear from the guys. So guys, we really appealing to you. There's a desperate topic you feel needs to be addressed, and we need to create the space. Before you say completely goodbye, once we say we close this room, just WhatsApp me or Jacques with a topic. That's an urgent appeal. So in that way, we get to talk about what you also want to talk about.
So therefore, I will bid you a good night until we chat again, and then we'll hopefully, if you spend the next, I don't know if you have to rush into anything, but if you can just send us your topics so that Elle and I can then advertise it for next week. Thank you, everyone.